Start our story with a wife cooking, and her husband says, honey, you hardly do anything at home. It's not like my grandpa's gonna live much longer anyway. Come on, at her age, mom can't do it. Please, you can get some brownie points. This is going to be a great chance to be a good daughter-in-law. We zoom in on her cooking and she's cutting up some celery. Damn, is that celery? We zoom in on her cooking and she's cutting up something, and then she cuts her finger and she starts bleeding. She looks closely at the blood on her finger, but her husband's asking, hey honey, where's the soup? She says, all right, I'll get it to you, and dumps the chives into the soup, along with her blood, pouring a good amount of it in there. She goes to take the soup to him. This stir-fried pork is seriously tasty. You didn't use any artificial seasonings, did you? No. Just blood. Natural seasoning. He stands up, puts on his coat, and says, hey, you got it? Make sure you cancel that brunch. I'm going to Chuncheon for a sports festival. Then I'll drive you to my grandpa's house. We hear the door shut, and we see her just standing there. And we hear a wah, 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 and she starts running. It's okay, mommy's coming. She then gets a phone call, so she stops to pick it up and sees it's her mom. She answers the phone and says, hey mom, could you come over and take care of our son later? What? I mean, I have to go to our husband's grandfather. Wah, wah, wah. She's cut off by the baby crying. Gonna jump in right here. Guys, there is no title card for this, but the title is The Good Wife. This is another of the Shriek anthology and one of my favorite ones. If you guys do enjoy this video, please tell me. I'd also like you guys to tell me down below if I should do something else in the Shriek anthology. I'm really liking running these stories, but if you guys aren't enjoying it too much, if it's something like that, I know it's not like this at the most viewership ever, but if I can get some feedback to it on whether you guys like the Shriek anthology and for me to continue doing it, or you like me to spread off into doing some other stuff too, maybe flip it around, do Shriek here, then do this here, then do this here, I'd really appreciate you guys telling me that. This one I feel like is kind of front facing, like from what we've seen already. It seems like a wife who's going through a lot of stuff and she's not getting help from anyone around her. You know, it's not very good for her. Now, what we're going to go back into here is the portion where she's going to be leaving, not leaving anything specific, but just leaving the house, right? I hope you guys enjoy this one. This is a great story. This is one of the best in the Shriek anthology, I'd say. And it has a deeper meaning like the one that we did previously. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and let's get right back into the story. We then see the next day where her husband is dropping her off at his grandpa's house. She stands outside and then she turns to go into the elevator. When she gets to the house, someone lets her in, saying, oh, you're back again? Look at all the work you have to do for your in-laws. I'm so sorry, you poor thing. She says, it's chilly here. Yeah, I have to keep it like that to keep him under a blanket. God, I gotta ask your mother-in-law for better pay or I'm gonna find myself an easier patient. We then see an old sick man laying in a bed going, crazy bitch. The person, who I suppose is probably a nanny, says, I have no idea what he used to be like when he was younger. Anyway, good luck. We then see the old man going, hey kid. I'm your granddaughter-in-law, sir. He then proceeds to grab her head and starts squeezing onto her breasts. That bitch, that goddamn bitch, she keeps hitting on me. We see her face, her just standing there, surprised, I think, by the boldness to do something like this, especially to his granddaughter-in-law. He then says, I wish this crazy old fuck would just hurry up and die. And then code switches to, it's time for your lunch, sir. Do you miss the feeling of a real dick? When the hell is he gonna croak? I'll prepare your meal for you, so call me when you're ready. He then starts muttering and chews really disgustingly, saying, aren't there any meat? Because of you, I have to leave my cute little baby at home just to take care of you. What the hell is this crap? He proceeds to throw it at her and slap her. We see her eye as she picks up her finger and brings it to her, the cut one, with blood starting to pour again. We'll then flash forwarded back to the house. The husband's sitting there watching TV saying, hey, you're back? God, it's hot. The air conditioning's probably freezing at Grandpa's place though, right? I was so hot outside I thought I was going to suffocate. We then see her just stare at him as he just stands there. We then see her getting ready for bed and him laying in bed. He says, hey, you did great today. Go ahead and get yourself a handbag if there's one you have your eye on. She closes her eyes and says, sure. We see her with her eyes closed and then she opens them saying, honey, if I talk in my sleep, make sure you don't answer me. He says, talking in your sleep? Since when? I talk in my sleep when I'm tired. Anyway, don't answer me or you'll get sucked into my nightmare. He laughs her off saying, what is that? Some kind of ghost story? Don't be so childish. We then see him on his phone laying on the other side of the bed, and she says, hey honey, your grandfather died today. I snapped his neck. He says, what? He flips over to look at her, says, is that sleep talking? Hey, wake up, you're freaking me out. Just pretending to be asleep, aren't you? Honey. I told you not to answer. Wah, wah, wah. And she starts spazzing out, her mouth upside down, obviously from her broken head or neck or whatever that was, with a bunch of wahs going down the screen. We then see a bunch of wahs and a conversation. I don't have time to stop by your place. I said I would drop off some kimchi for your brother tomorrow. Enough nonsense. Does your husband know about you being like this too? The baby ended up like that because you didn't take care of yourself. Why are you obsessing over it? In this moment, I realized this is the conversation from the mother. The mother is responding to her from when she called earlier. And I think something bad happened to the baby. He wakes up in cold sweats, turns to look over, and sees his wife's not there in bed. We hear a tapping noise. He gets up to go to the kitchen, and we see the woman standing there, cooking. Says, oh man, I hardly got any sleep because of that weird dream. Did you sleep well, honey? You were saying some weird stuff in your sleep. Instantly going back to that personality we saw earlier. Kimchi stew again. We see her brandishing the knife, saying, honey, wah, it still isn't over. I'm going to keep dreaming as we see her pulling him into her mouth, some yellow thing sticking out. Then we see him inside the yellow thing, and her saying, so fall asleep with me, while he says, honey. Then he disappears in the back, and it says dad. Now the end here gives me two thoughts. Now, either that is him talking, and he says honey in response to his wife, and then proceeds to say dad because he realizes what she said earlier about his dad was true, that she truly did kill him. And in this final moment, after everything he's put his wife through, after everything, his thought still goes back to his dad. Or the alternative, that yellow thing sticking out is their child, the one that most likely miscarried or died in some way. And it goes from him talking, saying honey, to when he disappears into the embryo type thing, and it says dad, and that is the child speaking at the end there. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I feel like this one is more talking about just a neglectful family. I think it's a very front-facing concept. It's talking about a neglectful family where the man just believes he works and the woman cooks. You know, she doesn't have much to do. That was the first thing he said. You don't do much at home, so you can go help me with this. You can go take care of my father. So our grandfather goes to go do that, and then also cook for him, and then also cook when he gets home, and then also comes back in horrible conditions of him knowing that she must have been cold, but him still making it even colder in the house just because he was a little hot outside. But the worst part of it all, in my opinion, is at that point where he's in the room and he says, hey, you did good. If you want a handbag, tell me. That was very disgusting to me. That just didn't feel right. It felt like he thought that he could buy her from putting her through all this stuff. And maybe that's worked before, but in my mind, I'm a little bit happy she snapped. You know, all that stuff waning on her. Maybe, I don't know how postpartum specifically works, but if she has postpartum depression or something from her child dying, and then her husband treats her like this, she goes to that place and her husband's grandfather starts molesting her. Like, how can you not snap? How can you not this? I mean, luckily for him, it was supernatural and she didn't just take that knife and jab it in him, but this guy really had it coming. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next story.